Hi, it's Ray Shields. Apparently, we're now called the Northern Offensive Podcast. I'm here with Nathan, Ben, and Joey Greek, and we're here to go through the round one pairing predictions for Crossroads GT.
And get it all wrong.
Well, absolutely.
I'll get mine right. That's all I care about.
I have beer for you this weekend, Joey.
That's good because I'm not bringing any. I'm poor.
Well, speaking of poor, you're not bringing an elf army, are you?
No.
I mean, only lunatics bring elves.
Yeah.
Or terrible players.
Yeah, I'm anti-meta. I play Varinger, so yeah, way at the bottom.
Isn't there like two Behringer? Or
I think so.
It's really weird for the Northeast. That used to be like there were 8 every GT.
I was honestly surprised that ogres were not the top list, but there's only 7 of them.
Well, they're all the same list, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. It's the same with dwarfs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dale won at the start of the year, so they saw the template for success.
You know, with 96 armies, I thought they were doing pretty good by having 25 of the 26. They're only missing halflings.
Yeah, there's no halflings.
Hats off to the Murder Garage for being the only team with like elves, dwarfs, and Northern Alliance to hit all the top 3.
Yeah, well, we should have had ogres, but somebody decided to play herd.
Well, it would have been Riftforge Orcs if anything, so. Besides, I was playing Herd 4 months ago.
You know, the statistics for drops and unit strength all worked out to be about what you would expect, like 13 and 23. I think that's about the norm for 2,300 points.
Yeah.
So none of that kind of surprised me. Max drops
Who
at
is
25
the 10 drop
with
16?
goblins. Okay. I think
Who
10
has
drops
10?
was Forces of Abyss. But 10 drops
Really?
is not a lot.
Okay, I gotta find
No.
this.
Looking through very quickly. 10 drops. Northern Alliance, Greg Anderson's.
That would make sense.
Is it 3
John
dragons? Please tell me it's
Vanas's
3
Forces
dragons.
of Abyss is 11.
Strings, wolves. Oh, ice elementals. Okay.
And Thomas Struther has the low unit strength of 16. So he's going to win that prize. I don't think he wants to play invade.
Or dominate.
Anyone facing Thomas, like choose invade, choose control, because he only has 16 unit strength, so you should be able to win.
Maybe that's part of his
just
plan.
a number.
If he's used to playing this list and he knows what if he can play those matchups normally, might get somebody with it.
So
You only need 1 unit strength if you table your opponent.
That's true.
So
but what's the max points you gain on that? 17-4?
it's called winning. It's not about how much you win hard.
That's oh god, there's a lot of defense 6 in that list.
Yeah.
So the first matchup, so these are the 12 matchups that we have, tables, subject to any change due to people changing and so forth. I personally thought there were a lot of really cool, really close matchups. It's going to be very tight at the end of round 1 for the most part, is my guess. Unless you're the unplugged gamers and you challenged way below your station.
Shots fired.
It's always got to be one.
Because I thought there were rules about like challenging where you're not allowed to challenge below you, and certainly not significantly below you. But
I'm pretty sure those rules were all thrown out at some point in time.
absolutely.
That was just target Jake, and then there were 3 other guys who were incidental casualties.
So what you're saying, Joey, is that you might get drafted by that team and help them out?
There's a chance. So there's probably going to be 2 or 3 of these teams, well, an even number, that are probably not going to make it through the event. Just because
I think so. Unfortunately,
I think there's somewhere around 10 drops so far. So we're probably going to be cutting a team or 2 just to make it work.
Well, on that rather sobering note, I'm A, going to have a drink, and B, go to round 1.
Cheers.
Let's go.
So, Nathan, if you want to do the teams we have for the Alcoholic Avengers,
Oh,
I'll do the
God.
Aristocrats because I might be biased.
Sounds good. So what am I going through here? Just what I think's interesting, or
Yeah.
how we think we're gonna.
Or
Well,
how do you think they're going to do? Like, when I came
uh,
up with this, I saw the two Sylvankin, and I would love to see the two Sylvankin have a match off.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Do we know what the available missions are for round one? I
No,
didn't check. Okay.
that would require way more thought than what I put into this so far. But no, I don't think so. Because Mark Howard's running 5 Glade Stalkers.
yeah, it's
and,
a lot of shots.
Sean's running all scouting or heavy scouting. So it would be like, who gets first turn?
Look,
Yeah.
Sean tabled me in round 2 last year at Crossroads, and he left a unit off the table. So I'll pick Sean no matter who the hell he's going up against.
So I guess, Nathan, which team are you picking, and do you have any?
I think I'm going to go with the Alcoholic Avengers on this one. I think I think 5 Blade Stalkers will cause some problems. Mind you, there is a lot of high defense.
Glade Stalkers are overrated.
Yeah, I know. I think 3 is the magic number. I think any more than that, you're just going to get fucked by dice on karma. So that might be working against me on my picks here. But between that and then, actually, would we pair the Sylvan players off, pair the Basilean players off, and have a fun game after that? So, yeah, I'm going with the Avengers on this one.
And Ben,
I got no
like
prep time for this.
I'll pick the Aristocrat all day, just because of Sean. Screw everybody else, just because of Sean. Like I said, they slapped us down to the bottom tables last year, so, and it was just some of the best games that we played.
I'm going to go Alcoholic Avengers here, but I think it's probably going to be like each side wins 2 of these. I think Derek's going to win and Ireland's going to win. And then Mark Howard will probably wind up with like Mike Austin because he wants it, if Mike does go. But I would expect this to actually be a tie, but I'm going to lean Alcoholic Avengers because Derek beat me top table at Vanguard, so I'm going to lean on him.
So, as an Aristocrat, I have to vote for the Aristocrats. It's just one of those unwritten rules. I also know that Mike Austin's not showing up. So before, when I was like, I think the Aristocrats might be able to pull it out, I think it's even tighter because I think you're right. I think Mike Ireland has a strong chance of winning. Him versus Sean McCollum.
Never vote against Mike Ireland.
Pardon?
It's just a rule. You don't bet against him.
Well, I do. Because I have been damn lucky in all of my games against him. In my last one, I was exceptionally lucky and beat him. But he's an excellent player. So it's like betting against you, Joey. Like, you don't bet against Mike. You don't bet against Joey because you're more than likely going to lose. So I'm still going to go Aristocrats. And yeah. But I do want to see Sylvankin versus Sylvankin. That's my personal hope.
Just pair them up first, screw up the whole pairing process, and go from there. Do a 3v3.
It's called a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
So the table 2, Ben.
Oh God. There's this guy named Ray. He seems like a terrible player. I mean, it just looks. Look, goblins seem to be the outlier against everybody in this tournament around. It seems like every goblin player is looking to screw over some sort of shooting. I, however, will still pick the Aristocrats this time around.
Joey? I know you have to go Nerdhammer because, really.
Yeah, there's some... The implications of me picking Aristocrats is just... It's not right. Now, this will be actually really tough because this... Nerdhammer DVDA finished second last year, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't have Bart, they had a ringer. So Bart's the new addition, which is pretty damn good. This is another one I think will be 2-2, but it'll be a swing on Joe Borghesi's game. I feel like that's going to be the iffy one, and Fasano will literally only play for a draw. That is the
Isn't
only
Joe
way
the
he
guy
plays.
they call the Silver Fox?
He is.
Yeah, we
the
played
Silver
him
Fox.
last year.
We played him last year, and didn't he place pretty high at Masters this year? Am I wrong in thinking that?
With his dwarves, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
so
doing
I mean,
really well with them.
Yeah,
Dale
'cause he was playing
won.
Undead and they switched over.
jeez.
Dale
I mean-
won. What was the February GT or March GT up north? The one that Rossi ran.
Oh, March of Death? No, that was in March. Dead of Winter.
Dead
That
of
one.
Winter.
Yeah, Dale won that one with those dwarves.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's two very strong teams.
Maybe I have to change my pick.
I don't disagree for a second. I would probably put Nerdhammer DVDA as like one or two of the top teams in the entire tournament, even ahead of the other Nerdhammer group. Like looking at the Double Dwarfs, Goblins, Night Stalkers, it's just, I think, Ben, you referred to the Aristocrats there as Murder Row, but Nerdhammer DVDA is also like the same thing. Like take your pick as to who do you want to play.
Pretty much. Double Dwarves. I mean, that's almost as bad as playing two ogre players with nothing but siege breakers. Like it's just going to be. No, I'll stick with you there, Ray.
So
In the
highlight
team
list-
environment too, like there's probably not enough scenarios that are bad for dwarves to take
No.
two dwarf matchups. in
Well,
every
especially
round. So one of them
if
will
they're-
get something they want.
Yeah, if they're lucky enough that the Goblins and Night Stalkers take away, something that the Dwarf players just don't want to play, then
Right.
that might be enough to switch it. But I don't know. I'm still going to hold firm here with the Aristocrats. Let's see me be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last.
Nathan?
Yeah, I'm going with Nerdhammer DVDA. I think between Joe having double dwarves, and it might come down to like a 2-2, but like the Goblin list is just, even if it does play for a draw, it's kind of like a null matchup. There's just a lot of bodies to chew through, and I don't know, depending which scenario you get with it, you just run out of attacks to deal with it.
So I think that in my mind, this will be the matchup to one of the matchups to watch in the first round. But that might be self-conceit there speaking, Joey.
No, that's fine. It's probably almost a good thing to lose this matchup. Like whoever loses this might end up ahead in the event.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've created a nuclear submarine at a tournament, now would it?
Yeah.
No.
So here we have Captain Tom and the Scurvy crew versus Put Me in Mark. Joey, do you want to begin with your thoughts?
Sure. Well, Frank Thompson is brand new, brand spanking new. So I probably shouldn't vote against my club, but that's probably a loss, just going straight in. Bill and Chuck are doing pretty good, though. Bill has been floating pretty much around 500 this year, but Chuck and his Basilians have been very, very strong. I would say I got to vote for my own club, but I like the Brother Mark inclusion here, just because that's really weird. I don't think I've ever seen a Brother Mark list that couldn't just be War of the Green Lady.
So
I don't even
in my
know who High
mind,
Chaplain Augustus is.
no, I don't even know it. I'd actually have to look up the rules if we end up playing them. I
Was it
like the
Steve's
Goblin
praying
list.
Brother Market? Yeah,
Yeah, Steve
again,
does Brother Mark.
Goblin. Yeah, so if
Like-
they're taking the formation in that, then that dragon is a killer.
That's no formation. Triple
no.
Phoenix, though, is
Yeah, no
Triple
ancient.
nasty.
Well, Jesus, it's that one.
But yeah, double Villians, Paladin Slayer, Monster Slayers, Sworn Guardians, 2 Order of the Abyssal Hunts.
2 skirmishers. Yeah, I really like this Brother Mark list. I'm voting. I'm changing my vote to them just because I like that list.
Okay, so
Well,
Odds are they
I'll
won't
go-
hear this
Put Me and
anyway.
Mark.
So
Yeah, well, I'll be going ahead with Put Me and Mark just because somebody's playing Trident Realms, and that is obviously the best of all the armies. So,
But they're playing placoderms. I
I
don't know.
mean-
They're actually fine. I mean, with Phalanx, it's actually probably good.
no,
against
they're
the Terror of the
terrible.
Green Lady.
They're
I
a
don't know.
terrible unit, but
They
we'll let it go
pretty-
this time.
This is a
I
hard
think
one.
I think I'm going to go with Put Me in, Mark. I hope that's what I put down at the bottom, because that goblin list with those goblin slashers, like, it's just going to be evil. You can have 60 piercing one shots at 12 inches between the war trombones and the slashers and the big
See.
rocks. Like, I would love to see that army. Actually, I would not want to see it. That army versus Thomas's Abyssal Dwarfs would not be good.
This is what I mean. It's not elves that are the problem with shooting. It's definitely goblins.
Oh yeah.
I'd say it's dwarves.
Definitely.
You're much more likely to see dwarves.
So, Nathan?
Yeah. I think I'm in with Put Me in, Mark. So
So I think it's a clean sweep for Put Me in, Mark. I just hope that's what I voted at the end. I guess we'll see.
Against my own club.
So we have Barry's Bathwater Experience versus Nerdhammer. Nerdhammer Prime, because they were the ones who won last year. So
Yep.
they get to be the Prime designation. Sorry, Dale. Running double Forces of Nature, Elves, and Salamanders. Lots of shooting and surge shenanigans. Sorry to Barry Bathwater. I just don't see it. I think that Matt Griffin's Salamander list is absolutely evil with the triple Skylords. And it was my pick of evilness on that matchup, though. The Elves would be the other side of the coin. I don't want to face
Yeah.
either of them.
Matt's gone from Sylvankin to Salamanders. So
He has a type.
it seems to, yeah. Barry's Bathwater has got a great set of team shirts, but yeah, this is unfortunately going to be.
that's an uphill battle.
I hate saying it, but
Even triple sergeant in the one ogres is kind of interesting. I haven't seen that too much. Always usually triple ogres, 3 heavy crossbows, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Played a list at Nova, those triple sergeants, triple warlocks. That was
That sounds fun.
No, it doesn't. I don't know what you're talking about. That does not sound fun.
yeah, you guys have got a weird idea of fun.
One more dice just makes everything fun.
yeah. Throw 7 wins on my dragon turn 1. We'll see you do it again turn 2.
Was Dragon dead turn 2?
No, he low rolled the nerve and then I flanked him and won the game. But he should have won.
Okay. So, Nathan, your vote on this one?
Yeah, I went with Nerdhammer on this one. So
Joey?
Yeah, it's gonna be Nerdhammer.
We'll just go to the
I
next
will
one.
say though, since we've covered both the Nerdhammer teams, I think Nerdhammer B is better in the team format
I completely
than what
agree.
A is bringing.
I think Nerdhammer Prime is primed for an upset where they're going to lose to, because that matchup's going to come at some point. Nerdhammer DVDA versus Nerdhammer Prime.
Hopefully, it happens later on in the weekend and not in rounds 2 or 3.
It was round 5 last year. They
Yeah.
played against each other.
Yeah.
So hopefully that happens again.
Maybe round 3, so that they're not completely drunk and they've gotten over their hangover from the night before.
No. It's got to be like game 4 of the second day, so they're they're all hungover.
That's when dwarves are at their best.
Exactly. That and over short distances, right?
So we have table 5 battle programs versus regulars. I guess, Nathan, this is back to you.
Oh, is this back to me?
Yeah.
Helps if I look at the list beforehand. But so I know you got the undead highlighted there, and I've actually played against a very similar list a lot, and it can be quite nasty because Matt in our area runs almost that exact same thing. Except he doesn't have the formation; he just takes regular zombies. But it can be a slog to fight through. Yeah, I don't know any of these people. Sylvankin, Ogre, Anger. Double Order of the Green Lady is interesting. Are they running the similar list, or did they skew two different directions?
I think
very
they're copies of each other.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, both Triple Order of the Forsaken, both Triple Pegasus, both Triple Unicorn.
Is there another way of playing it?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, that seems everyone's usually on the 2 Order of the Forsaken. It seems to be.
So Jordan's cut the Avatar of the Green Lady and a regiment of Heart Piercers for the 3rd Order of Redemption.
That can be rude. That's a fast list. I think I'm going to go with Battle Pilgrims here. I think the 2 Order of the Green Lady list, I think that's going to be interesting. I guess I'm voting against Joey here, but good luck.
I was going to say, wow, to his face, too. I mean, like, geez.
Hey, look, we're Northern Offensive. We can't offend each other. Who can we offend?
Right, well, I guess it's me. I'm going to go with regulars here, mostly because I like the setup of the list better. Double anything can be a blessing and a curse. And like you were saying about trying to chew through all that undead, it's just I've played against a similar list myself, and mate, if you don't have the attacks, you're going down really damn quick. So I think that might be your tipping point. Also, Varangur, nice. I mean, like, don't even play the new stuff. Let's just let's say screw crows with hand grenades. Let's just kick somebody in the face.
Well, I would run them if I had the models that worked. But I got to pick my team. It's my team. I'm the captain of it, so that would be pretty bad.
Well, I'm not going to pick mine, so don't worry.
One thing I do know, Chris isn't going to get to go, so who knows if this matchup is going to stick or who we're going to have as our 4th. That part does suck.
Yeah, it does.
But as long as I don't play the Order of the Green Lady, I feel
don't say that out loud.
You mean either one?
Yeah, no. My list can't play against someone that is entirely speed 8 and 10. That's just objectively not what I'm trying to do.
So I highlighted the 2 lists. I thought the Night Stalkers list was actually a really well-balanced list that looked like it was a lot of fun. I didn't pick it because I thought it was like skewed one way or the other. I just thought it was a really cool list, which is why I highlighted it. And I actually like Ray's undead list, especially with the phalanx on the zombies. Like, if you're talking about a list that is primed to fight 2 Order of the Green Lady lists, like, that is it. Ray going against either Marcelo or Jordan's flying and mounted. I don't know what they have to deal with -28 zombies to the front. Like, obviously, if you get a flank or rear, they're dead.
They have 2 units.
Pardon?
They just take 2 units.
Oh, no, because I remember looking at, because you'd be hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s, 18 attacks, 9 hits. I guess that's 8 wounds. 2 units puts you up to 16 wounds. You actually almost need to get a triple charge to knock out the zombies in one go because of the -1 to hit.
By -29, right? Yeah.
-28, yeah.
Well, rallying for the Shambling Blight.
Oh, yeah. So even if you have three units hitting, if it's 3 Forsaken, you're up to 24 wounds, 5's twice. You should do it.
Oh, something tells me Marcelo's played this sort of thing before. So,
but that's like not counting for all the rest. Anyways, I just thought it was a cool list. I thought it was good counter meta, and it has a metric ton of unit strength as well. So,
I thought you just liked his thing because his name was Ray, but
Seems logical.
Yeah, well,
But I did vote on regular, and that was before I found out that Chris wasn't going to be there. With Chris going away, I think the battle programs have this slight edge, but I'm not going to change my vote at this point. So
that is the one thing about, all of these lists. The moment you take away somebody that you're used to playing with or at least playing against to, just some merc that comes in, I mean, it does sort of change everything around.
how do you like Ed's going to be great? Has Ed played ogres before, Joey?
Ed finished fourth at Mountaineer with them.
Damn.
Yeah, that was his first event using ogres.
God, that's going to be awesome. He's going to be so loud as ogres. Everyone's going to hear him.
He is. That's our game plan. He's our silver bullet.
Buddy, that works.
So should be a lot of fun. This is definitely one of those tables that is worth checking out. So I guess Ben.
Oh, best MM. Unfortunately, they're playing against Mercs, which is toting around 2 additional Canadians, believe it or not. And we've played against these guys a lot. Mr. Vermillion there is one that's, he's grudged me at our next tournament, so I'm hoping he does terribly. However, I guess we
you
still
want
have
him
the
to do
back.
well. Get complacent.
We'll see about that. No, I've had Nathan down here a couple of times to go over his Northern Alliance. I think he's quite happy with what he's doing. I actually looked at these lists a few times. And Ren, we've seen play a whole bunch of times. I like the way the Mercs are set up. I do.
I guess I'm next. I know of these people, but I think I only ever see them at Crossroads. I'm going to go best MM just because I don't like orcs of either variety.
Wow.
So when I see 2, that's a pretty bad sign.
Well, Justin's going to hate me for picking against him. I'm not getting my hug.
I mean, we're kind of screwed either way because we got people on both sides of this.
So I guess my thoughts are best MM seems to have like a lot of surge blocks, an awful lot of unit strength, and just like here's our nerve that you have to deal with. And against most other lists, like you said, how do you deal with all the bodies? Well, how do you deal with them? You take orcs, you take fight wagons, you take like metric tons of attacks. So that's what caused me to pick Mercs. I like Matt's list. I like how he's gone down to 2 fight wagon legions. I think that's the right number instead of 3. And we'll see how this goes.
I think he added in the Hell Strikers. I don't know what he took out.
He did, yeah. He picked up the Hell Strikes instead. He dropped a fight wagon legion for Hell Strikes.
I didn't realize he was up to 3 at one point. God. Yeah. But yeah, Hell Strikers add a really it's only a regiment, but it still adds a nice element to that list. Yeah.
I mean, Justin's bringing 4 legions of bloodworms. It's just going to be a bitch to try and take care of.
Yeah,
and 3. I've played Nick like 4 times now. The guy is really damn good, and he's really good with the force of nature. I just kind of like the Merc setup better, not just because of the Canadians.
I think I have to vote for Mercs because I'm driving Nathaniel down, and if I don't, I'll probably never hear the end of it. But honestly, because I don't know if how much he's played the Night Stalkers, because I know he was waffling on how many bloodworms to include, and like going from like 2 to 3 legions, that's a lot of extra board space. And if you haven't got the games in with it, I think it can work against you. But that's a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Mercs.
He's only bringing 4 unit types, so
it's true.
And everything can fly.
It's true.
It doesn't really matter.
Say that, but
it is just no. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
that should be a fun one.
My only complaint: I would much rather see Justin take 2 lightning bolts and 1 of the heal mind screeches. Get the
Justin's going to Justin. He's played some weird ass stuff. We're coming up like the Ratkin slaves that he really likes. That he loves to bring up here. There's some weird stuff, but it seems to work for him. So
fair enough. So halfway point is over. We now have Cuddle Time versus Ithaca Lakers. I guess that's back to Joey.
Whew. On name alone, I have to vote Ithaca Lakers, but they have Kingdoms of Men, and that kind of cancels out with the Riftforged Orcs, so we're back to being even. I want to see Jeff Huggins Ratkin, because if this is like my list.
Cool one.
Tangle, all right, that just sold it. Yeah, we're going to vote Cuddle Time, because these rats I like. One Enforcer, he took Tangle, has a Mutant Rat Fiend.
Well, I'm going with Ithaca Lakers because I like the Kingdoms of Men list. Well, because I looked at it and I was like, damn, this has a bit of everything.
3 crossbow blocks. I like it. Other troops, not regiments, and rifles. Okay. Triple ballista. And they're named.
Yeah, I was gonna say honestly, the names are kind of winning me towards over to Lakers, but I think I gotta stick with Cuddle Time just because the Riftforged Orc list is very similar to what I've played and had a lot of fun with success. So he's kind of won me there. Plus, dwarves with all the elementals just seems like a blast.
Well, Nathan, we played Cuddle Time in the very last game of Crossroads last year.
Is that who that? Okay, that makes.
That's who the Knoll Ogres are.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna just because of the Knoll Ogres, I'm going to choose Cuddle Time. I mean, obviously the Lakers are men of taste, taking both Trident Realms and Elves. They know what they're doing. But after playing Cuddle Time last year, they were a great bunch of guys. That Knoll army is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and they gave us fits in that last game too. Not to say that we were, great players or anything like that, but they were just a great set of players.
If that's the case, then Jeff and me, I think we played a game in like an hour. I think we were done. Like there was still an hour left on the
clock. You came over and I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And you went, "I'm finished." And I went,
"Great game." We didn't even have clocks because we forgot to bring them. I guess that's a reminder to bring clocks for tomorrow if you have them. So we just like, fuck it, we'll go and played a game in an hour.
But play fast, get to the bar. Got it.
That's right.
We both did what we wanted to do, and it was a close game at the end.
So now we come up to what is considered a contentious one, which I guess is mine. We have Drop Tro versus the A team.
They spelled A wrong.
Well,
I mean, it's one letter. I mean, like, come on.
It's the Canadian education system. Come on.
Well, I know. In which case, they spelled B wrong because they really are the B team.
So I do think Alex has accepted the challenge from Adam Ballard.
Oh.
Which, given the fact that Adam has come out with his video calling out Alex, and Alex has kind of accepted. If they don't play first round, I think everyone would be sorely disappointed. But that said, I think that plays to the A team's benefit because I think Adam's team list would give anyone else kind of fits.
Well, I think I'm going to get fits anyway.
Shannon Shoemaker's goblins are weird and abnormal by any goblin measure, consisting of chariot legions and giants. And Trowbridge's dwarfs with no shooting is one of the all of the drop tro are kind of weird lists. So
they are nuts, that is for sure.
They're great players, which is why I chose them, but I think it's going to be closer than what some people think. I thought that if Alex played Adam, it would be better for the A team because I think that gives John a chance against anyone other than Shannon, and the ogres can deal with the Green Lady and dwarves to the best of their abilities. But you and I have differed on this, Ben, and
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm actually gonna back this A team of some sort. No, look, Alex is just a hell of a player. He and I had a bloodbath against each other the last time we played. Absolutely loved it. John has proven time and time again that he can play against any list, including Green Lady. I mean, I watched him play U-Ray here, and I thought he was dead to round 2, and he pulled the win out there. I think I'm not entirely sure.
No, he did.
Not to rub shooting in your face one more time, but you know. Look, Steve's just a solid ass player. You put him against anybody, and he's going to give him fits. And Eamon's going to scare some people.
I thought you were going to say Eamon's coming out, and that's about as far as we get. But
well, the closet is just over on one.
Love you, Eamon. You can call me out for that one.
I'm actually trying to be nice to this team for once in my life, which is, you know.
Why start now?
Look, I've seen Ballard's YouTube channel. I actually follow it. I think he's great. But if he's playing Alex, mate, I think Alex beats him. Everything else is kind of up in the air, but I'll give this one to the A team.
Nathan?
Yep, I'm sticking with the A team on this one. So.
Ooh.
And Joey?
Oh, well, I have to vote for the A team just because of Alex. So the Ratkin list me and Alex built together. He won his first GT with it, and then I won Nerdhammer with it. But that was probably the most fun list building either of us had ever had, it's my favorite list I've ever run. It's the most stressful list I've ever run, which probably fits Alex better. But I love it, and I'm going to vote for it when I see it. It's pretty simple. And I do think if he plays Ballard, that is way a team's advantage. Because that means that Alex isn't playing Dwarves, which is really, really huge for him.
Well, don't worry. Alex has been playing that list for the last 2 years, and he'll be playing it for the next 3. So
it's painted. He ain't painting another thing. He keeps telling me, I want to paint this. I want to paint that. And
no, he doesn't. No, it's never happening.
So I think this is me being the only one voting for Drop Tro and everyone else voting for 18. So
nothing against the people that are on the team.
I have to vote against Shannon because he's not on my team. We won Crossroads together in 2018. And whose team is he on now? Not mine.
Well,
maybe it's home field or what, but no,
it's the redemption arc.
Yeah.
But again, this is another good set of matchups, like another solid round. I don't see either team like going 60-20 here. Like,
no, this is somebody edges out somebody. Like, in, you know, it's I have to go with the A team here.
So we now have Nathan with Pokemon Masters versus Unplugged Gamers.
Yeah, this one's interesting. I almost want to see. I kind of wish I could see like the actual models, because if Pokemon Masters have like an actual Pokemon themed army, I'm voting for that.
Look, who would do that?
I hate to disappoint you.
Who would do that?
God damn it!
I mean, nobody would print and paint an entire Pokemon army.
Hey, there's actually someone else is doing for Trident Realms already up on Fanatics right now, and I was
there's STLs for Pokemon models. So
you
can make it happen for Force.
I did it already, and I made John play it as Forces Major in a tournament. So
it may or may not be in my garage at the moment.
Fuck off. So yeah,
if you bring it, we could convince Noah to switch armies.
I think it would be in Noah's benefit.
I think I'm going to go with the Unplugged here, just for herd solidarity. I would say we have similar lists, but I think aside from the Spirit Walkers and the Avatar of the Father, that's where the similarities end on our lists. It'd actually be fun to talk with him. I think we're the only 2 herd players there. And then dwarves are just going to give people fits. Rhodia, that is a lot of honor guard, though. But I haven't actually played against Rhodia because Alex has yet to actually bring them out, even though he threatens it.
He's still making the saddles. It's going to happen.
I'm expecting Radodia at some point where we just get Ratkin Rhodia. He's just rebased it all. But that hasn't come to fruition either. So
Why do his honor guard look like tunnel runners?
Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas.
We'll cut him up some plug bases and everything like that. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Unplugged on this one. I think it's going to be... mind you, again, there's that undead list again, and I really like that style of undead with the 3 catapults, but I'm going with Unplugged. That's my vote.
I haven't looked well enough at this, so I'm going to go with Pokemon Masters, mostly because I know they want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Also, mostly because of the somebody's bringing Rordia, and I mean you got to give them props. They're like you got people bringing Abyssal Dwarves and Rordia, so they're obviously out to win. Because, when you bring the power armies,
And they're skipping over the fact that they have Brother Merc as well.
yeah, it's true. I mean, this guy playing Undead. I mean, like, what the hell? I mean,
he's not trying hard enough. Is it even Jarvis Undead? Oh no, it's Zunok. It's Zunok Undead. So
I was gonna say if it was Jarvis Undead, that would be it. I mean, no, but no, I actually kind of do like what they've got set up here, so I will go with Pokemon Masters.
All right, I know Keith Conroy can't go, so the herd list isn't going to actually show.
Oh, yeah. Jesus!
He has
spoilers you're giving us here.
Okay, I'm over to Pokemon Masters now. That's it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Nathan. I'm not coming either.
I will drag your corpse there if I need to and shade it to the table. I'll get you propped up with Mike's dice tower so you can still play.
Yep, it's big enough. Yeah.
Continuing on, sorry.
That said, I'm still going to vote Unplugged Gamer. So Andy Fisk is Ed Fisk's brother. It's Ed's League of Rordia list.
I was going to ask about that because does Andy play the same way that Ed does?
We've told him to, which is very simple.
We told you to play like this.
For anyone
the
who
way
doesn't
Ed
understand
plays
what that means,
very simple.
It's like super aggressive, super in your face, and super loud so that everyone at the tournament knows what you're doing.
So the goal is you win the roll for turn 1. You go first. You move everything as far forward as it can. On turn 2, you charge. And then you figure it out.
That's every Twilight Realm player. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do? It works out a lot better when you have Ensnare.
You say that, but I think being replayed it, I don't think there was any charges till like turn 4 of that game.
With that said, this will be like Andy's 3rd and 4th and 5th games this weekend. So I'm going to vote Unplugged Gamers because the Pokemon Masters, they're definitely going just for having fun and having experience. And they're all going to be dressed up as Pokemon. That's their thing.
Oh, no, that doubles down for me. I am definitely going after these guys. Anybody, and I have warned certain people about wearing full suits at tournaments before. Anybody who has the balls to do that is going to be hot and sweaty, and no one will want to be near you. But you will have worn a suit. I wasn't going to say anything nice.
I voted Unplugged Gamers. That's before I knew Keith was unable to make it. I like Chris Murphy's Basilia list. I think it's solid. I'm not sold on John's Forces of Abyss. I would love to know how it works over the weekend. I wonder who Jake's playing, but my money would be on Jake and Kevin, so I think this might be closer to a... Because Kevin knows what he's doing. Jake knows what he's doing. So I think this could be closer to a 2-2 draw than not. I don't know, Joe.
I'm going to counter-argue that. Unplugged Gamers have 3 guys at Masters. Pokemon Masters do not.
No, they had
yeah,
2.
but going to Masters and, actually supposed to being there at Masters are 2 different things.
Yeah. But Noah has won a grand total of 5 games in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Out of how many though? Is it 5 out of 5 that he's won? Or?
No, that's 5 out of like 30.
Look, TJ may have only have won 3 games in his life, but he's still a ringer.
It's the ones you win that matter.
Exactly.
I think Kevin and Jake have the ability to pull it through. I don't know where the 3rd win would come. It'd come from Andy getting big beginner's luck. Like, Noah, I love you, but I'm not going to bet the farm. So I'm still going to go Unplugged Gamers, just less confident on this bid.
When you don't have the former master, that hurts your team.
Just slightly.
So it looks like we have Loaded Dice versus the Big Dead one. I don't really know these people very well. I apologize. But
I think we played loaded dice last year. I think.
Yeah, well, we had
You'll
Jason
recognize
Murphy up
Adam
at,
Wardle's army. Although I
Yeah.
don't
well,
know
of
that he
course,
went to
it's
last
Ratkin
Crossroads.
slaves. Who? That's the other thing. Like, who takes Ratkin slaves to the list?
Justin Berg. That's exactly who does it. Is Justin, but he didn't do it this year. So. No,
But I
I
thought the Big Dead one had just better armies, so I'm leaning on them between the Undead, Empire of Dust. Jason Murphy's Orcs using tons of Morax actually did really well at Orktown, so I'm expecting to see it to do really well again.
he was just here, wasn't he? Wasn't he here
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, he has his are all painted up as ghosts, I think, aren't they? Or is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're green.
Yeah.
Yep. It's something out of Ghostbusters. No, that list scares the crap out of me. I'm still calling a tie. It's going to be a dead tie. Everybody is going to be 10-10 right down the middle. It's going to be the first time ever. They're on table 10. It makes perfect sense.
Okay, on that one,
Well,
Nathan.
logic like that.
I'm going with loaded dice here. I think for fun. I think there's enough shooting you might be able to get through the Moraxes between either like the Northern Alliance or the Goblins. And just the fact that the Big Dead ones didn't bring 4 Undead or Empire of Dust list just loses points. So I don't care if the Orcs are painted up Undead. If they don't have the Undead keyword, they're no count. So we're going with loaded dice for this one.
I'm also going to vote loaded dice. So, Ray, you saw Chet at Mountaineer. He finished, I think, 3rd or 5th. He was the Goblin list on table 3 last round.
Okay, yep.
Adam's Ratkin slaves are really, really damn good. That's a really good list that he's just kind of one of these events. He's going to get the luck he needs, and he's going to go 4-1 or 5-0. It's going to happen with that build. So I'm going to put my bet on loaded dice because I think Adam's due for that list to really go off.
I can buy that. So, whereas I thought this one was like dead in the bag for the Big Dead one, what you're saying is it's going to be a lot closer than what I think.
I think Chet and Adam will definitely win, regardless of their matchup. I think they're both good enough to do that, and the lists are complete enough to do that.
Okay. I guess we'll
Sounds
see.
like
And if I see 2 wins, I'm probably going to pick that team.
So, Nathan.
Yeah, okay, so we're on to Nuke. I don't know if that stands for something, and I apologize, and the Shambling Hosts.
That's New England War Kings.
Fair enough. See, this is why I ask. So I think we played the Shambling Hosts last year, or some variation of that team.
We did.
Yeah, was that? I don't know if that was our round 1 players. Were they brand new last year, or no?
No, the Shambling Host is definitely not.
Yeah, sorry. Like I said, I don't know names. I apologize to anyone.
You'll know Rossi when you see him.
Oh, is that okay?
I don't think he was on that team last year.
No,
Maybe he was on the
we might have played like Shambling Holes B, or I think they had 2 teams last year. The Shambling Horde.
The Shambling Horde.
So we got Ogres Undead. Again, I really like this. Actually, this is a little bit different build of Undead. Brought the Wraiths in. Haven't seen those much. And Death Packs. I don't think anyone else is taking Death Packs. So that's kind of interesting there. But Elves and Dwarves is an anchor versus... New Northern Alliance? You have the Flosscraw Riders. I'm going to go with Shambling Hosts on this one. I like the Elves. You got the 3 Glade Stalkers. That's where karma balances out. You take 2, it's not enough. You take 4, it's too many. Your dice go sideways. You got the Horde of Seaguard. Dwarves, 3 Sharpshooters. Fun stuff there. A lot of defense 6 with the Steel Behemoths. So yeah, I'm going with Shambling Hosts.
Well, Mike Rossi's playing a new army. I mean, I don't think he's ever played Dwarves before.
Does that matter, though?
He's actually borrowing it.
What?
But it's not a train of Brock Riders. He doesn't have him riding trains or whatever it was.
Actually, I'm disappointed because he has the Ewok army, and the fact that he didn't bring out Ewoks as dwarves, that's a point against him.
It's a huge point against him. I'm still picking Shambling. I'm still doing it. Yeah, it actually sucks. I really wish he would be playing the Ewok army. That thing was awesome. I'm heartbroken I didn't win it. I would have brought it. I mean, it would have been the right thing to do, but but we'll still pick them in spite of all that.
I'm going to go Shambling Hulse as well, but Rossi's list does annoy me. He isn't taking Throwing Mastiffs on Iron Guard, and it's just my brain is like having a little seizure looking at that. Warbow of Kaba versus Throwing Mastiff, and
I almost put that in my list. That thing is awesome.
But in dwarves,
yeah, in anything.
No,
it's an army stable. Like, come on.
You could shoot it for 6 straight turns, and you would still not get enough dice to make up for 1 Throwing Mastiff.
I'm picking Shambling Host just because I had a rough time with Chris's Undead. The Wraith Regiments just dash 16 instead of dash 12 on defense 6. It makes a difference. It's a pain in the ass to go through, and he has enough surge that he can fly and do fly shenanigans everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an undead list that would work, and the first time I was trying to analyze it, I was like, how does it work? It just does. He did really well with it at Dead of Winter, and I think he's continuing to do well with it. So he's a solid pick. Corey with his ogres is always good.
Shout out to Corey's names.
And we can just pass over Mike because clearly he didn't take Throwing Massive. So what does he know about dwarves?
That's brand new to him.
That being said, I think Mike versus K2 round 1 would be epic. There would be a lot of noise from that table. So if I can dream a pairing into being, that's one of the ones that I think would be a lot of fun for the players up there with the Sylvankin on Sylvankin playoff.
You're just an evil man. Like,
he just wants the games where everyone wins.
Time good.
He likes the happy fun times for himself and everybody else to have to suffer.
Well, I want the Sylvankin to suffer, but I want like Mike and K2 to have a great game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying Mike and K2.
You're all hard, buddy.
Bloody hell, I'm going to.
It's okay. Kick me out of the van on the way there. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
And I'll let you as captain discuss this matchup.
Oh God! Well, obviously
he's
MGM. I mean, who would name themselves?
Do that as your name, MGM. That would be awesome.
Well, because we may or may not know somebody that has ties to the Russian mafia. Maybe we are not confirming or denying anything.
Is it one of the 4 players?
It may be. You might be able to tell it by the name on the front of his shirt when we get there. Maybe.
Is he gonna wear a tracksuit?
Oh my God! Oh,
can you all wear tracksuits?
It's a little too late now.
We got our uniforms. Don't worry.
No, God, no. You're making me wear a hat. I hate you.
Suck it up.
And you're not even the damn captain.
I know.
And being the captain of this team.
I wore the beaver suit last year. You could do it this year.
Yeah, that's because you're a giant pussy. And being the captain, of course, I'm going to vote against us. Because why the hell wouldn't you? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Look, we're playing against a guy. These lists, I've looked them over. It is shooting, and goblins, which are shooting. And I am not sure on how we're going to play against this. I'm going to close my eyes and guess. And we'll see what happens there. So I will call it down the line. How about that?
God,
Wow.
Even Joey declared for his own team.
Don't even. Don't be here, Ben.
I like this Richard guy. He's playing an army that obviously he has taste.
We're going to have to promote TJ to captain. Fuck. Take the Englishman off the team.
I will not listen to an engineer, so it doesn't matter.
You gotta have confidence going in. They're gonna. They're going to all surprise you, and you're sweeping. And then you get to play Nerdhammer, and you regret everything.
Oh, buddy,
I was gonna, like,
if you met my ex-wife, you'd already know I had regret everything anyway. So don't worry about it.
see, we're gonna get fucked out here because all 4 of these guys will have dropped, and we'll have a completely new team that we have no idea what we're playing against.
You know what? It would no. It wouldn't matter either way. No, I'm hoping that everybody wins on one of the teams.
I'm putting in the vote for us because I at least have confidence in 2 of our players.
You
Maybe
and
not
TJ?
me. Might be Mike and TJ. You're losing your votes here because you're voting for the other team.
I really liked Mike's Northern Alliance. I thought it could play scenario very well. And maybe one other person on the Murder Garage, and that's 2 people. And by Joey's definition, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Mike's played his list. He knows what he's doing with it. As far as I know, I think Ben's been coaching him. They've been having their Rocky Balboa montage scenes.
Look, he took out a cavern dweller, so he's dead to me at this point in time.
What's wrong with a cavern dweller?
He made me play against 3 goddamn cavern dwellers for 2.5 months solid. Comes on my team and then takes away the bloody cavern dweller. I'm like, I hate you.
But he changed it for 2 hordes of ice naiads with spears and crushing strength.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Somebody talked him into it.
Does he have
And it
to
was-
yet?
He does.
Keep questioning.
So I'm going to vote for Venereal Taint, which is a great name,
Boo.
and I'm going to vote for it on name alone. But 4 shooting matchups into Herd, Elves, and a Northern Alliance list relying on Naiads. Feels like a good bet.
I think it's only 3 shooting. I don't think the Empire of Dust shoot. Like, I don't know what Ben's drinking.
It has shooting. I mean,
shooting doesn't have.
It has a soul snare. It has Dragon's 9.
Oh,
aren't
okay.
the Guardians, don't they have those bows? Those things have everybody that's ever
that's
played
the
me.
melee version.
These are
Oh,
the
okay.
few
In
ones.
which case, I'm wrong. Forget it. I'm going right back in on my own team. Go team.
It's honestly going to be, I think we're going to be doing some under-table deals to see which one of the 4 of us actually gets to play into the Empire of Dust.
I think so.
I like the Empire Dust list. It's kind of got a
So do
love
we.
everything vibe.
Yeah, no, so do we. The Goblin, I'll be dead honest. The Goblin list does give us actual fits. The Empire Dust list is fantastic. Again, a man of taste. They're playing elves, and we like Northern Alliance players. Maybe not the people we're playing against, but we definitely like Northern Alliance players. So, we're hoping to pull out a victory here. We're gonna bloody well try, that's for sure. But it's not going to be easy.
So, the interesting question I have about Northern Alliance is this one is using the Icekin Hunters, but a lot of the other ones are not. They're using the other 24-inch range shooting,
Yeah.
and that would be an interesting combination to see which one works best between the 2 options.
My honest opinion is the savings on points actually does matter. However, having Frozen on 24-inch shooting, there's a chance that actually matters in some way, shape, or form. I'll be interested as well into seeing how it plays. I mean, hell, I might end up playing him, so I might get a first-hand note. But I'm also a guy that likes to shave points wherever I can, and that's a lot of points for those Icekin there.
Hunters, yeah, it's 600 points. So,
Yeah, like that's a lot of points. I mean, who would spend that much on Glade Stalkers? I mean, like, geez,
Yeah.
3 units of the things.
Just Glade Stalkers with a
I mean, like,
bonus.
come on.
That's the thing, though. He's got 3 units. I'm telling you, 3 is where the karmic balance works out. So I think it's going to do good for him. And it's going to probably screw me because I'm sure I'll get paired into them.
If I can make it happen, it's going to.
I know you're going to do it just to spite me.
I will tank my own team just to get him in there.
You'll be off in the corner playing the Empire of Dust.
Oh no, I got a good match. Well, I don't think there's a good matchup.
So I guess final round. I put down my choices ahead of time because I had the opportunity to build this. Are there any other matchups that people want to see, or people think like clearly you voted against me in at least half of these? And we all
Exactly.
know we're oracles and all going to be correct, despite voting against each other half the time.
2 tool makers outdo 15 engineers, but
Who's the second tool maker?
Ouch. If you weren't driving me tomorrow.
Well, you can ask Joey about how driving with me is. So.
Oh, I'm going to find out. Look, you don't remember waking up in my garage, so.
It's a lot of old school hip hop. You'll love it.
So I think these are the predictions. Any final rounds, thoughts on the tournament, Nathan?
Pick a winner.
Pick a winner.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, 18, 100%. They were going for it last year. John brought out his A game this year. Now, mind you, they have Eamon, which is probably, we'll say a lateral shift from Mike McCready again. I love you, Eamon, but we'll say it's a lateral shift, maybe a peg down. But yeah, 100% 18.
Ben?
And we're going to go for third bottom from the last. We're going one up from last year.
As long as we beat last year's, we'll find that.
That's the goal.
Look, I kind of want to say DVDA, but you know what, Ray? I'm going to pick you. And look, if you don't win this year, you might as well just give up. That's it. You're done. No more. You should just stop playing completely.
If your team doesn't win this year, how does the rotation work? Do you get bumped back up to captain, or do you have to go through the rest of the members first?
Well, I think we have to go to Alex Chavez as captain next.
Or do you get bumped down to aristocrats too? Isn't that how that works?
Well, no, we have to find who has to be captain to win. Like, we have to find out who the best player is.
Oh.
Yeah. If you don't win with the aristocrats, then you're not going to be captain the second time.
It's crazy. There was a time where Ray was like aristocrat 6. He didn't even make the top team.
This is true. 2 years ago, actually.
And 4.
I don't believe you.
You were on Team Canada.
I was. We won the Spirit Award that year.
You won the oh, Did you do a dance? I just want to know. Did you do that?
Of course we did. We were all wearing our plaid and we had our hosers on, and yeah.
They handed out maple syrup.
Yeah. I kid you not. We won best team sports that year. But I didn't even make the aristocrat team.
Well, you shouldn't have in that case. I mean, you and Platt. I mean, like,
Yeah.
He only went.
who could pass that up? He only went 4 among.
Joey, do you have any surprise lists or surprise teams that you think will do better than others? Because I don't want to. Obviously, representing your team, you have to vote for yourselves to win.
I don't think we're going to win. Not the whole.
I like
event,
this guy.
No. If Chris was going, I think we'd have a really good shot. But with Chris being out, that hurts a fair bit. Unless if something winds up happening and we get like a Ray, then I revote for myself. But I think DVDA is like the favorite in my opinion. But number 2, I think Shambling Hulse could sneak in there, especially given their sports. If it's a very close battle race, like if they're only 5-8 points off, that's a team that could jump up on soft scores alone.
So what about you there, Ray?
What I'm hearing is we have a bunch of teams that are super competitive. You have the Aristocrats, Nerdhammer DVDA. I'd be lying if I didn't include Nerdhammer in the group. Shambling Host, depending upon how it works out, regulars, and the A team.
Well, so, and even Drop Trout. I mean, like you said, even
Drop Trout. Like if I wanted to include Adam, like who would do that? But
yeah, I mean, who the hell would do that?
First round and be like, just knocked out of the tournament. He's gonna have no heart after the first round.
And Unplugged Gamers have a really good shot too. Like that's a lot of very talented players that they're down their master, but depending on who replaces him, they could still be a very good team.
But that's 8 solid teams. Like
Yeah.
without question, without doubt, like Murder Garage, if you guys can end in top half, that'd be a huge accomplishment coming to this.
It would be unreal.
But there are and battle programs are no slouches, and Alcoholic Avengers have like Mark and Mike Ireland, and so that puts us up to 10 teams, and I'm just biased because I'm speaking predominantly from the Mid Atlantic, but like there's a solid number of teams that are all super competitive at this tournament. So I think a lot of the games are going to be very close. It's going to be very tight, and I don't see anyone kind of like pulling away completely from the pack.
Yeah. Well, regardless of what happens in round 1, round 2 is going to be just as cutthroat.
And crazy.
Yeah, round 2 is going to be less cutthroat because I'll have started drinking. So the alcohol will have already started, and it'll get much more casual as the day goes on.
So you're not going to try to stay up till 4:00 in the morning again, Joey?
What do you mean stay up? That's when I go to bed.
How old are you? My God, I haven't seen 4:00 in the morning since it was one of my shifts I was working.
I'm 31, but
children
there
we
was
have here.
2019 Crossroads. I just didn't sleep the weekend. I all-nighted both days.
Yeah.
I still outplayed me. Like to be fair, he still outplayed me. So like, call a spade a spade.
Yeah, that was Ray's one loss when he was on Team Canada.
It
was round 5 of me with 0 hours of sleep in 2 days.
Let me guess, you went up to him. He did the got your nose thing.
No, I asked our ringer if he had won his game because that gave us a shot to like top 3. Because I was like looking at 3 combats that I needed an 8 or higher to win, and I would win the game, or I could just guarantee a tie. And he turned around and said, I won. So I said, all right, Ray, we're going for it. And I hit all 3 of them. And then he turns around and went, I was kidding.
Just to be Canadian, this is like that coach that when Gretzky was coming up in the league and he said, do you want me to win the game or tie it? And his coach said, tie it. And the team turned around after he had tied the game. Like they were like down by 5 goals. And they said, why didn't you ask him to win it? This is the exact same thing. Just calls his shot.
Of course, you put in a hockey reference because you're 3 Canadians and 1 American on this discussion.
Look, if I had gone to Aston Villa, would any of you known who any of these people are? Like, if I pull out English Football League, like, half of you would be like, what, or cricket? If I started talking about the Ashes?
No one would know cricket. Like I have faith in that one.
Cricket's actually pretty fun.
It's the only game that was developed just so other people can drink. That's the whole point. That's why there's 3-day test matches, so everybody in the stands can sit there and drink. That's it. Think about that for a moment.
On that cuddly note, thank you to anyone who has made it to this end of watching our epic predictions.
You poor bastards.
We will see you all tomorrow when we're at this tournament, and afterwards we can all drink about how right or wrong we were with regards to the predictions. So I'm Ray, wishing you a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.
Ciao.